So he says, tell everybody, anybody who's scared can just leave right now. 22,000. Gone. Down to 10,000 men. And he says this, that in order that Israel may not boast against me in her own strength that saved her, we need to get rid of some more men. Well, lots of stories have been told as we looked at that slide of where Gideon chose his soldiers about. I remember hearing the story on the flannel graph and seeing how there was those that were cupping it and they had the sword in their hand. And bless their hearts, they've gone home to the Lord, but they were telling me that they were ready to fight and ready to go into battle, and that's who God chose, because and the other guys that lapped like a dog, they didn't care and all this kind of thing, and they just lapped their water, and so God didn't choose them. Well, let's be careful not to read things into Bible stories that aren't there. Okay? It doesn't say anything about a sword being in a hand. It just says that the Scripture says this in verse 5 of chapter 7. He tells Gideon, the Lord tells Gideon, separate those who lap the water with their tongues like a dog from those that kneel down to drink. In my mind, it's just a way to separate people and get the numbers down a bit. There was 10,000 people around. Nobody's going to sneak up on 10,000 people. And besides, if it was because they were so ready, so prepared, and so alert, God didn't want them anyway. You see, God wanted to use the weak, maybe the unprepared. But just they had faith in God, not in their own strength. He didn't just choose the mighty warriors, you see. He just chose some to go do it, that had faith in their God to do this work. And so the numbers get dwindled down to, you guys remember the number? 300. So we're now sitting at the odds, 450 to 1, and God says, okay, now I'm ready to go to work. 450 to 1. Would you have been amongst the 300? The type of man or woman God can use, number one, is someone who is small in his own eyes. Number two, it's someone who's able to step forward with courage against everyone around them. Number three, it's someone who's willing to trust God by faith, so that God gets the honor and God gets the glory. Dr. Bramer tells the story of his daughter when they were called down to Dallas Seminary for him to finish up his seminary degree. She was 14 years old, didn't want to go. Not going, I don't want to go. Here we are, getting ready to go. She fought against the parents about to go, and eventually Dad won. They moved to Dallas. God ended up supplying the Bramer family in income through the daughter as she auditioned for a part